righty. Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Airbnb Hipcamp and Harvest Host, exploring farm visit options for lodging on your farm. I'm so happy to be here with you tonight. I'm calling you from Cherokee, and this is sponsored by the Empowering Mountain Food Systems Project and the 3 small business centers that we're working with in our region: Tri-County Community College, Haywood Community College, and Southwestern Community College. This is a project funded by the Appalachian Regional Commission, the Cherokee Preservation Foundation, and North Carolina Cooperative Extension. So tonight, we're going to speak with 2 seasoned, experienced farmers who are on the cutting edge of agritourism in the region. They are both located in Haywood County, Smoky Mountain, Mangalitsa, and Jehovah Raw Farm. Katherine Topple is here from Smoky Mountain, Mangalitsa, and she's going to talk about Hipcamp, and she recently added Harvest Host to her offerings. And Jehovah Raw Farm has a very successful Airbnb operation on their farm, and we actually have a really fun live video to share with you from Jehovah Raw tonight. So I talked to you about this. This is also a project of the Center for Environmental Farming Systems. CEFS has been around for over 25 years, and we are a collaboration between NC State, NCA&T, and NCDA. So welcome, everybody, and with that, we'll get started. I do want to, we have a poll here. It's really important that we know where y'all are from. So please take that poll that you have in your screen there. We do land recognition here. I am joining you tonight from the land of the Eastern Band of Cherokee. This is the region where we're working, and the region where I am joining you from tonight. And we do want to recognize that we are working on the land of the Eastern Band of Cherokee. All righty. So there are 10 goals for the Empowering Mountain Food Systems Project, and number 9 is to increase farm income through agritourism. Agritourism is a form of consumer engagement where working farms offer a variety of recreational, educational, and tourism activities to make their finances more resilient. We really do want to make this distinction that agritourism is not buying a farm and having weddings there. It's really about you are a working farm and you are integrating agritourism into a working farm. So with that, I want to introduce Katherine Topple from Hipcamp. She made an amazing pivot from her Mangalitsa production, and I'm just going to hand it over to her. And Katherine, please tell me when you want me to advance screen.
I will. Well, good afternoon or evening to everyone. I want to say, Laura, you're exactly right. Agritourism is not just weddings, and it is basically letting people come onto your farm for an experience, and keeping that focus, I think, is very important, and embracing and encouraging people around you to do the same, because I want you all to think about how jewelry stores congregate, or even fast food restaurants. The consumer wants a choice, and the more people that you can gather around in your area and kind of create a district of tourism, the more successful all of you will be. So I just want to put that out there. So hello, it is my pleasure to be here. My name is Katherine Topple, and my husband and I are raising a slow-growing heritage pig in Western North Carolina. Our business was severely challenged by our loss of sales to restaurants. So we began hosting campers through Hipcamp in March of 2021 as a means to generate extra income. We've had great success, and I encourage you to consider this option. And I'm just going to jump right in. So I'm sure many of you have heard of Airbnb, the hosting platform for travelers. Well, Hipcamp is similar, but is geared toward all levels of camping. Doing an easy web search, you'll see there are many new names in the camping game. So definitely look at the terms that they offer, because not all of them are the same. So you see there some here: Airbnb, camp space, tenter. For example, at first, we did not consider harvest hosts because the camper does not pay to stay on your property. They are encouraged to spend $20, but are not required to do so. And we were not interested in those particular terms over the camping season. We did eventually sign up with Harvest Hosts, and I'll explain more in a few minutes. Please advance the slide. So the benefits of opening your land to campers are many. We were at first uncomfortable with the idea of strangers on our land and deeply concerned about bad behavior and abuse of our property and animals. We have not experienced one inkling of anything of the sort, and in fact have met only lovely families, couples, and professionals. So these fears aside, the benefits are minimal startup costs. We put rocks in a circle for a fire pit and made tables out of pallets and plywood. We had very low overhead and labor. We love that we can control the entire camping schedule and pricing. And best of all, many of our farm expenses that were previously not tax deductible are now eligible, such as fuel for mowing, planting flowers, and even outdoor furniture. So you see the other benefits listed there too. So another wonderful benefit is selling our farm-grown pork to our campers. Once they discovered the novelty of our pigs, their camping experience is enhanced when they cook a Mangalitsa Copa steak or bratwurst over their campfire. On many occasions, this has earned us a loyal customer for both camping and pork sales. Lastly, we really enjoy the social nature of hosting, as we've met truly fabulous people, and it's created an avenue for us that we never expected. I'll get to the challenges shortly, but first I want to share with you how to choose your campsites and how to list your property on Hipcamp. Please advance.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. So campsites, you want to choose sites that offer the best experience your property can manage. And remember that offering quantity over quality will only work against you in reviews. Be honest with your, oh, back one.
Back one, okay. There we go.
Be honest with your descriptions and pictures.
Oh, sorry guys, hold on. I got a ghost in my machine here. I don't know why. So that's previous. And then one more.
Back one more. There we go. So, okay, so there you go, that's it. So be honest with your descriptions and pictures and disclose need to know things like 4-wheel drive required or farm machinery noises likely at certain times. And ideally, the most important is to utilize land that is not otherwise being farmed and away from your operation. So you see here, we have riverside property where we don't put our animals, and it turned out to be one of our most profitable and appealing campsites. Please advance. The listing is your space on Hipcamp that you personalize through a questionnaire after you sign up. Think of your listing as a hotel chain where each campsite is the same price. You may only need one listing for all of your campsites, but in our situation, we have 2 because 3 of our sites offer better location or amenities than the other 7. Thus, they are slightly more expensive. Each listing gives detailed descriptions of the site and other information, such as the number of cars it can hold and the amenities, if any. It details pricing and rules that you create, such as dogs must be leashed at all times, as well as policies such as we charge per vehicle. We've gone even further in our description by highlighting nearby attractions and promoting other area farms, such as Presnell's Fresh Farm Market. All of this information entices people to book with you. As you host campers, they will be able to add photos and reviews to your listing. This is a wonderful feature and one you should embrace, as it can help draw in your bookings. Please advance. So this is the calendar. My favorite part of the Hipcamp app is the calendar. I can see at a glance who's coming when, as well as look at their booking statement. Unfortunately, hosts cannot yet move campers between campsites, and this seems to happen more often than you might think. This becomes necessary when a group grows in size and needs to be relocated, or maybe the campsite is inaccessible because of weather. My understanding, though, is this feature is in the works. The calendar allows you to block off dates, giving you full control over your schedule. It lets you raise and lower prices for specific days, as well as change the minimum nightly stay. You might want to do this for the 4th of July holiday, raise the price per night $10 and require a 3-night minimum stay instead of 2. Each camper's name leads to their statement, and once inside the statement, you can message them directly and answer questions. I will share too that the messaging system is fabulous. Messages come straight to your phone via text, enabling you to answer questions promptly. Promptness will definitely increase your bookings. A new feature we really like is an automated message that is sent to the camper 48 hours prior to arrival. Ours gives detailed directions, reiterates our policy that we charge per vehicle, and requests that the camper give us an ETA. Let's advance the next slide to challenges. So camper, we're at Harvest. No, that's fine. We inserted. That's perfect. Let's go back to Harvest Host. So we did embrace Harvest Host. And like I said in the beginning, the Harvest Host didn't appeal to us. Like, we were starting in March, the camping season was ramping up, and we didn't want people staying for free when we could have people paying. So this was just super important to us. So we did open it up. I had a kind of a brainstorm at Christmas time. We weren't hosting camping over the season. And while our campsites are recovering, we do have one that is almost like a weathered rock. And it's a huge area that could hold 5 RVs. And so we opened up to Harvest Hosts. And I think we've made almost $3,000 on farm sales since the day after Christmas. So please advance the slide. So Harvest Hosts may be perfect for you. They're not really supposed to unpack and set up a fire and do any of that. Truly, you're offering a parking space. So if you have things to sell, definitely take advantage of Harvest Hosts. So the challenges, camper inquiries take the majority of my time. I'm juggling those groups who are due to arrive soon, as well as the many who are booked to arrive in the future, and those who are considering booking but have many questions. It can be a lot of work, but we think it's important to answer people promptly and capture the booking before they decide to go elsewhere. Farm tours may have to be delayed because of check-ins and checkouts. We've also found that on busy checkout days, people want to buy our meat. So I will stay around the house to manage the sales while my husband addresses chores. Inclement weather can influence site accessibility, and camper traffic will take a toll on your roads and your grass. We consider tire tracks like smile lines just the sign of a good time, but we do our best to minimize them. Negative reviews are always unpleasant and seem unfair. We have taken the approach to turn them into an advertisement. We got a do not recommend complaint from a woman that camping wasn't for her. This, of course, impacted our 5-star rating and was completely unfair in our eyes. But instead of responding that, hey, don't you know what camping is? We responded with, you're a perfect candidate for our new glamping decks with king-size beds and full bathrooms. So I strongly encourage you to not be tempted to try and right the wrong, but just roll with it and say something genuinely nice. It will always work in your favor. Late arrivals are challenging for us in that we like to go to bed early. We provide maps in this instance and send verbal directions to the camper through the app. In this situation, we might remind them of our 5 p.m. check-in policy and offer to put them in a layover spot for the night. So you can manage that, I assure you. The next slide, please. Marketing. You all know, I'm sure, a great deal about social media, and I really don't enjoy it. We use Instagram. It's picture-based. It's simple. Basically how it works, anyone who's looking for anything that has to do with tent camping will find our post. So you're not friending anyone, you're not in groups. It's very much an open platform. So we use that, and we focus our hashtags on families and locations that we think are close enough to visit easily. For instance, we use Asheville Getaway to entice the Asheville crowd. Another focus is tagging upcoming events like Thunder in the Smokies in Maggie Valley. We market to motorcyclists around this time. So you can tailor your posts by what's happening in your community. Let's push on to extras, please. The next slide. So extras are one of my favorite money makers. There's a tremendous opportunity to double or triple your revenue over the season by offering extras for sale. You determine what your extras are on your listings. And this is a short list, but there's been an amazing amount of money that's been generated through these. We charge per dog. We charge for extra vehicles. We charge for campers. We let 1 vehicle admits 4 campers. So if they have a 5th person, they're charged a small fee per night for that. So we also offer a farm tour. And so like we were saying in the beginning, how important the farming aspect is. And it was very popular. And I would give a Mangalitsa farm tour, informative about the breed and It lasted 45 minutes. I charged $5 per person. This was last year. I've raised that this year. And I just considered it a paid advertisement. After that, they were genuinely interested in the meat. Usually it led to purchases. And if it was something that I was going to be sharing information with them anyway, at least I was getting a little payback for it. So you can get creative with these. We take people up the river and drop them in, and they actually kayak back to our farm and their campsite. So they're use the amenities and resources that are, unique to your farm. Next slide, please. So merchandising, everybody knows about that. We created a mascot out of our livestock guardian dog. He has no manners. He will redecorate your campsite. People love him. He's about as big as a Shetland pony. And so it's been a super popular direction that we went. So get creative with your merchandising. Next slide, please. So there are legal considerations. We established an LLC for the camping business with its own bank account. We registered only one of us as an owner, and the single owner protects the jointly held assets should a camper bring charges against the camping company. There are fees, taxes, and insurance, of course, that you need to consider. Hipcamp takes 10% from your gross sales and charges the camper 15% on the backside of the booking price. So they're making 25%. They're taking 10 from you, and they're adding 15 to the camper. So that's something to consider when you're structuring your pricing. Hipcamp does offer $1 million in liability coverage for camping related incidents and for damage to your property. I would seek counsel on whether you should carry additional coverage should your net worth exceed 1 million. In Haywood County, we are not required to collect taxes when renting real property or selling firewood that we grow and cut ourselves, or for the dog and the car fees. We do not have to collect any taxes for that. If you do have to collect taxes in your county, Hipcamp will collect those for you. You just tell them the rate and they will and make that happen. So should you branch into glamping or cabin rentals, keep in mind that you must adhere to fire and building codes. So which may include building roads for fire trucks and installing sprinkler systems. Do not assume that these are not issues, no matter how simple or small your accommodations. In Haywood County, for instance, you're required to be inspected by the county if you offer more than 4 lodgings. So there is actually a bit of a gray area with camping, glamping, and the rest. I feel like they're making it up as they go along, but thankfully in Haywood County, they're willing to work with us. They understand the importance it is to the landowner. Next lesson, please. As far as lessons learned, I encourage you to spell everything out about your farm rules and policies on a listing and on an information sheet that is given to the camper upon arrival. This is a great way to minimize their frustration, reduce repetitive questions, and advertise your products for sale. I think second to this lesson is holding back 1 or 2 campsites that are unpublished on your listing. We use our 2 unpublished sites weekly to accommodate campers who want to extend their stay, or for groups that suddenly grow from 1 car to 5. This is captive revenue that you most certainly do not want to lose. Last slide, please. The future of camping. So the current camping rigs are extraordinary, and we have seen a great many of them on our farm. Glamping is the upscale version for those who enjoy their creature comforts in a quiet setting. You can see the middle slide is one of our decks that we're putting on our mountainside. The future of camping is unknown, but I predict it will be a blend of camping with an aspect of hospitality as well as unique experience, which every single farm has an experience. Even me, I like to just go look at old equipment. So charge me money, I'd be happy to pay you. So many of our campers never leave the farm during their stay, and this is a ripe opportunity to educate and entertain them. We are planning a mix of primitive camping and glamping decks with full bathrooms. Our strategy is to appeal to a broad spectrum of taste and income levels. I am certain that no matter the accommodation, the satisfaction of cooking dinner over a campfire or brewing cowboy coffee while watching the sunrise will never lose its appeal. I hope you have enjoyed this presentation and want to extend to you an invitation to contact me. I believe there's one more slide. Should you have any questions on thoughts on your setting up your own venture, please don't hesitate to email me. And if you choose to list with Hipcamp, please use this referral code. You will earn $100 after you host your first camper through Hipcamp. I wish you all the best of luck and absolutely encourage you to follow this route.
Great. Thank you, Katherine. I'm going to open the chat, and we do have a couple of times. Let's see. Tim Burke asks, where would I look to learn what additional write-offs I can claim as a host? You mentioned fuel.
Yes. So I would ask your accountant. I mean, that sounds like a kind of a plain answer, but I would. And you think about if you're in hospitality, right? Your tables, your chairs, my picnic tables, we ordered real tables this year. We were looking a little rough out there on the campsites. I would definitely ask your accountant, but think about hospitality. If you were a hotel, you know, your landscaping, if you had to hire someone to come and weed eat, planting your flowers, your sheets, your linens, your even the deck, if you just were building a deck for a tent, if you had to bring in seed grass to replant your, or even manufactured sand, is that what they call it, to build a campsite. Those are all things that are tax deductible because they're costs that are directly related to your business.
Great. There was another question about the bathroom. I believe there is a bathroom on site, but if somebody wants one right there next to them, that's what you charge extra for, correct?
Correct. So we provide 2 porta-johns for, we have 9 sites now. The glamping decks will all have either their own bathroom or a private porta-john. But last year, let's talk about last year, because that was the simplest. We provided 2 in 2 different areas of the farm, and each one serviced like half of the campsites. I required last year, after a couple of experiences, that if a group was 8 or more, they were required to rent their own porta-john. And I charged $100 for that. I was charged $90 by the supplier, the porta-john company, and Hipcamp, of course, took 10, right? They would take 10% of that rental. So I had to charge $100. However, if I was able to rent it one more time in the 4 weeks that I had it on the property, the $90 would be pure profit for me. And a lot of people, because of COVID or just, they just want their own bathroom. I mean, right. So it wasn't like I was price gouging them, but I did definitely make more money the second time it was rented.
Okay. I think those were all the specific questions for you right now. And so keeping an eye on the time, we're going to move on and talk to Julie Wilson of Jehovah Raw Farm. My little button here is not moving the way it used to. Okay. So diversifying farm income through agritourism, adding Airbnb to your farm operation with Julie Wilson from Jehovah Raw Farm. Julie is also located in Haywood County. She's in Clyde. And with that, we will get started. Julie, you just have to tell me when to advance the slides, but we're going to start here with Julie's ad, and she can talk a little bit about her Airbnb and how it fits into your existing farm operation.
Yes, the farm started back in '93. My husband wanted to build a new building, but he dreaded the thoughts of mowing the grass. So I said, how about sheep? And he said yes, without knowing what the future would bring. So almost 30 years later, those 2 sheep paved the way for all of the other fiber-producing animals. And in 1999, we moved from Candler to about 45 acres in Fines Creek. And then in 2018, we decided to turn one of the little houses that you see into a vacation rental. We had tried long-term renters. Maybe we had about 4, and 2 of them we had to take to court. So it just turned out to be, I had a friend that was doing the vacation rental, and she said, why don't you try that? So that's what got us started.
And so Julie,
I hope it's working.
A little bit about the amenities of your Airbnb?
Yes, it has. It does not have a dishwasher. It has all pretty much, if I can do it, it has things that you would find in 1950. A clawfoot bathtub. The curtains on the windows are from the bed sheets that I found in the barn. So I would probably see if I could do it myself. The kitchen table is from the siding from our other house. And so it's like how I like to think, how would they have done it back in 1950? The deed for the house is 1910, so that's my main thing. Now we do have the lab running water and a bathroom and let's see, a microwave and oven. So those are the things that make it really nice. But so it's just, some people have described it as just stepping back in time. The refrigerator, as you can tell, is a monitor refrigerator. So that's from back in 1920.
Can you, Julie, I think some folks think it's really hard to set up your Airbnb page. Can you?
No, no, it is. Airbnb makes it so easy to build a page. They cover everything. It's like if you go on, as the slide says, it's 10 easy steps. It's a checklist. You say what kind of place, apartment, house, suite. You give a description. Is it a farm? Is it a vacation home? The space available. People can rent out one room in their house. They ask you, is it entire place? Is it a private room? Do you have a separate entrance? They have how many beds, how many bathrooms. I don't think they miss a lick. They ask you everything that you would want to know. And that's the outline that makes it so easy. And when I had worked with another vacation rental company, I just decided to go with Airbnb. The very best thing about it is that a live person answers the phone and the customer service is impeccable. It's just really good. And they're extremely knowledgeable. They follow up with an email to make sure all the concerns were answered. So I really like their customer service. And let's see, we tried woofers also, that they came and stayed for 2 to 3 weeks. But with that, I would be training them and then they would leave and then I'd have to train another person how to do the farm work. So we decided to turn the little cabin into a vacation rental and then take that money and then just hire local workers for the farm. So let's see, I guess this one.
So we've got some images here of things that you sell on the farm. So one of the benefits to folks visiting here is they're learning about a fiber farm. We've really yet to describe, what you do. So can you talk a little bit about your life as a fiber artist and what you sell?
Right, and I don't know if I said it, but we started with 2 sheep, and that's where Jehovah Ra means the Lord Shepherd. So Psalm 23 and the sheep, that's how it all got started. So everything, and then it went to honeybees and alpacas, llamas, even our cattle, our Scottish Highland cattle that have fiber. So it's all related to fiber. And I was a teacher for 30 years. So then it's the educational part that's coming in that I like to teach spinning to anyone. There's classes of beginning weaving. They can pick all of their things. We have a loom in the vacation rental, and that's what makes it so special that it is already warped. So I have spent a lot of time putting the warp on, but they can pick any yarn that's in the shepherd's croft and they can actually weave a rug to take home. So that's what it just turns into, a farm experience. And I do have to say, we do have three options. I went back and forth of all the things that we could offer and then charging for it, but I decided to just have one price, and then they have to pick, and I think we have a slide on it maybe that talks about the broody hen.
Yeah.
Laura, see if that's.
Yeah, we'll get to that one, I think, next. But
Okay.
with this slide, we're talking about, how registration happens, the management, what is it you have to do, and then consideration,
Yes.
pets and children and
Yeah.
all that. So if you could touch on each one of those.
Okay. The guests have to register with Airbnb, so they vet all of the people that are going to be coming. The company does the checking requiring an ID. They collect the charges and the fees. Airbnb deposits the fees straight into our bank account. Let's see, in the management, I manage all the extra questions, but let's see, they go through Airbnb. The phone numbers and the exact addresses are not given out until they have confirmed and said that they are coming and pay Airbnb. So you can choose what they call instant booking, so that they would be able to book a site right there, but I don't choose that. I choose to give myself 24 hours notice because I need to have time to prepare. And the other thing that Airbnb has in their management is a calendar. And so I can actually go in and block the days that I do not want anyone coming, because I find it is absolutely a farm first. And that's what I like when you said in the very beginning about it's not just buying land and having weddings. It is absolutely a farm. And we do the Airbnb second. So I have to have time to tend to all the animals and repair fences and things like that. So, and the considerations with the Airbnb, you have a guidebook, and that I can decide if I want pets, if I want children to come. So, and the people, I do say no pets because of the farm animals. If someone brings a dog and, they might chase the chickens, that might cause a problem. So it's,
What about children?
Mm-hmm. Yes, children are great. Children are great. I say that the children can come to the farm. So that's where I'm saying that Airbnb allows the host to say anything that they want of their property. But yes, children are allowed on the farm. Absolutely.
Great. So I hope I'm trying to make this black bar go away. So what about the money? I think a lot of people think that Airbnb takes a big chunk of your profits. So here we can see the prices. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Right. And in the very beginning, I was just at 125 and we were having so many bookings, I couldn't do it. So I raised the price, and that then I added a cleaning fee. Let's see, the service fee that they take from the 150 turns out to be like 3%. I think it's about $6. Where they make their money is they have a service fee that the guest pays. And I believe that's almost like 16%, 17. So the guest is actually paying a lot. They're not taking out, I think you can see it's just like $6 from me. So that makes it very nice. And the cleaning fee goes straight to the host. They don't take out a percentage. It just goes straight to me.
And they're managing, like Katherine said as well, they're managing the occupancy taxes for you.
Yes, I see that right there too. Yes, that is absolutely great, because the less paperwork that I have, that means the more time I can spend on the farm. And
Right.
paperwork is not my favorite, so I
Right.
like that. And the Airbnb sends me a 1099 so that we can do that for our income taxes. So that's good. And we also can book the farm from our website or from calls. And then I would do the occupancy tax to Hayward County.
Gotcha.
Let's see, but yeah, 95% of our bookings come from Airbnb, and it's their marketing. But if anyone was wondering about it, just go on their Airbnb website, and it's good. I don't know, it might have 50 different videos that you can learn from if you're trying to set a house up.
Okay. So here's the slide that we were talking about experiences. This is so unique. And then we're going to show you a video. But tell us about experiences.
Yeah, this is really fun. We were all at a family get together, and I was telling everybody that I had a hard time deciding how to do it, what to charge. You know, do I charge for a farm tour? Do I charge for eggs? So they helped me, my family helped me decide. So a hen actually sits on a nest about 28 days, and she is like comatose. She just doesn't get off. So that kind of says, you know, I don't see you, you don't see me. Number two would be a barn owl. And if you know, the owl just turns its head and watches everything. So that's where some people, if they just want to watch me do the chores and they don't necessarily want to go into the pasture, that's what they would choose. And the Clydesdale is they do the work right along with me. And on Instagram, what I try to do is, of course, ask the people, but take pictures and short videos and then put it together in a slideshow. So on our Instagram of the farm, there are several families and visitors that their visit turned into a slideshow and a video. That was really nice. So a lot of people yeah, go ahead.
I was going to tell me when you're ready to launch the Instagram video you sent me.
Yes, let's see. A lot of people that want to one day have a farm, maybe 80% of the people coming, so they choose the Clydesdale and they do the work with me. Okay, go ahead. So you guys enjoyed this video. My daughter actually did it.
Okay, we'll see. This is one of those things sometimes we never know. How's the volume? No volume. Uh-oh. Okay. Oops.
We have a really great question in the chat. Do you mind if we take this question while we sort out that video?
Yes, it was about life insurance or insurance.
Okay, hold on.
What kind of insurance is needed if people are around animals? Do you find that you need?
Hey, Lauren, let's wait.
Okay.
Okay.
We just see a blank screen right now.
Oh, you see a blank screen. You don't see the video.
No, that's why I was doing that.
Oh.
So
yeah,
I have some experience with the insurance. When equines are involved, it's very, very tough. I just have them on the farm and I consider them yard art. I mean, but my insurance was definitely raised. It got very expensive just for having horses and equines on the farm.
So, Lauren, I'm seeing it, and it's not, I don't have it anywhere open anywhere else. So I think what I'm going to have to do is share it with all of y'all in the chat. We'll figure out how to do that before we close, but I'm sorry because it's a beautiful video.
yeah, I was really.
Yeah, it just, yeah, it's because when I click it here, it shows. I wonder if I put this link
If
in
we-
the chat. What'd you say? Yeah, now it's not opening at all. Can y'all see the slide deck again?
Yes.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, all
Birdie
right.
hen.
Pardon me? Okay, we're gonna go to the next slide. Uh-oh, now where am I screen? Uh-oh. Yeah, now I'm stuck because of the Instagram thing. Oh, now can you see the video?
No.
No.
I just see a black square.
Oh, bummer.
Well, may I add something while you're working on that? Okay, so I know that camping and having people on your property is probably not for everyone. You know, there's a great option, and it's just offering a farm experience. I know that Haywood County is joining and so are 2 or 3 others. I don't know all the ones. They may be the adjacent ones to Haywood County, joining the Visit NC Farms app. And so you can offer experiences to paying customers. They come in and they go away before the sun goes down. So there are options there. And Airbnb will promote your experiences without you hosting anyone overnight. But I will tell you, I attended like a 2-day seminar with them, and their fee for experiences was 20%. So I thought, wow, I'm going to bump it up to $15, and they're going to take, 20%. So there, you just have to do a little research, and but there are options for just experiences and not overnight guests.
Okay, can you all see this Instagram now?
Yes.
Oh, yay. Okay.
It's not playing on mine, but
I haven't started it yet. Okay.
Place
Okay,
in Western
okay,
North
good.
Carolina. Where time seems to nearly slow down, and you're able to take a deep breath. Here you will find a working farm and an Airbnb experience like no other. You will feel rejuvenated and refreshed. During your stay, you will be able to interact with all of the animals, which are super friendly and always happy to say hello.
Hey, how goes it?
You might notice the animals look a little different, really fuzzy. It's because Jehovah Rapha Farm is a working fiber farm. Along with interacting with these amazing, fluffy animals, you're given the chance while staying at the Airbnb to make your own woven piece from the natural fiber from the animals. Find us on Instagram or Airbnb to book your stay. We can't wait to meet you and share this special place, Jehovah Rapha Farm in Fines Creek, North Carolina.
thank you, Laura.
There's a little more. So I thought this was over too. When we get another beautiful shot. There we go. What
Yeah,
kind of
there's honeybees.
those?
Oh, that's right. Those are Scottish Highland cattle.
Okay, that
There's
was
a
it.
special place
Okay, now it's gonna, I gotta stop share and get me back to my, oops, now I'm gonna have a problem. Hold on. Okay. Okay, this is not the right one. Bear with me, people. Okay. Okay, let me. Okay, hold on. Am I screen sharing yet?
Not yet. I just see your name
Oh, okay.
and Julie phone.
Okay. Almost there. Here we go. All righty.
Oh.
So,
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm going to
so
have to reload.
this is, go ahead.
So I saw the screen right before my computer said reload. So I'm going to have to get a new laptop before we do this again, because that's why I am on a phone call, because my computer was not working very well. But this is a group of ladies that came for a tour, and they were celebrating one of them turned 60. And I was at the water trough with somebody washing their hands, and I heard one of the ladies say, "Is that alpaca having a baby?" And I'm telling you, it couldn't have been a better time for that alpaca to have a baby. So these 5 women were able to witness the birth. It was halfway coming out. It was something. So I just went straight to work and, got a new pen set up, and just, they got to see it the first time it stood up. It was just fantastic.
So
That's
was
that
that
picture.
so Julie, was
Mhm.
that a farm tour that was separate from your Airbnb experience?
Yes, they just came, and then I do see on the slide it says toys and coloring books. So if one thing that I do, but I choose to do it, if the guest tells me something important is happening in their life, then I would do everything that I could to make their experience better. Like if somebody's having an anniversary, I think there's a slide that shows the candles, there's a little video clip that, and I ask them if they want bread upon their arrival and if they want fresh eggs. So, and then of course, interacting with them if they want to weave a rug. So, they choose. That's why it's so important for me to know their option. If they want to become my best friend forever, they probably choose the climate. And we see a lot of each other during their stay. So that's, probably.
Julie, you had mentioned that check-in and check-out was very important. Can you talk about that?
The check-in and check-out, let's see. I wonder, oh my gosh. I have the check-in is just the key is in the door. I'm drawing a blank.
Well, I think
that,
you said that you put the bread maker on so that when they walk in, they're smelling fresh bread.
That's right. So that's important. So I always ask them if they want what their ETA is, and then I can have the bread ready. And I buy the Amish butter from Presnell's, the farm stand that's right down the road.
And they have fresh eggs from your hens.
Yes. If the chicken, they're now just starting to lay, and people don't realize it, but they take a break during the shorter day length of sunlight, and the chickens don't lay.
And
so you say, well, how are they? It's the grocery stores, because probably a lot of the chicken places, they light up their chicken houses. They have light in there. So, but the chickens take a break. So in the winter months, my guests don't really have farm eggs.
All righty.
Yeah.
So, insurance. We wanted to find a scary picture.
Right. Yes, the insurance, North Carolina has the law that's right there on that slide, and that does protect the farmers, but anyone can sue. So you have to, I think that was a major block that we had to go past, that yes, we're going to accept people on our farm. And it has been nothing but a pleasurable experience. The people are fantastic that have come to the farm to realize all the animals. Let's see, the insurance, and someone was asking. So of course, talk to your insurance agent. They will have a rider. I absolutely recommend you getting farm insurance or liability for people that come on your property just in case. So that's really important. But you have to be ready for the public to come on your farm. And the Airbnb, they do offer $1 million coverage for the people that are staying in your guest house.
Great. Have you ever had a problem with livestock and little fingers?
No, I tell the people how to interact with the animals. I don't let them go into the cow pasture without me. The cows and the horses are a place because of the size of the animals. Then I ask the guests not to go to those pastures unless I'm there. And with the cattle, they are so friendly, but they're livestock and they could spook. So we always have the Kubota with us. That's just like a little run-in thing. And then I actually tell the people, just in case, get behind a tree. If a cow starts charging you, and I want them to know that, not to scare them, but to prepare them. So if I feel like I'm doing everything in my power to prepare them for the animals, then I'm hopefully doing a good job.
Great. All righty. So you want to talk a little bit about special touches that you have you all saw on her landing page, she has a very high rating of 4.95 out of 5. And that's how Airbnbs live and die. So I wanted to go ahead.
That is good. And that's where, I just don't give them a key and say, here it is. If they tell me anything about them, then I try to elaborate. Believe it or not, somebody just came, and the boyfriend was telling me that he was going to propose to his girlfriend while staying on our farm. And I just thought, I was just so honored that he would have picked our farm to propose to his girlfriend. So, we got letters, or I did, and put balloons. And I told her that because it was the winter, I couldn't find any flowers, so I just made a bouquet of balloons. And then her boyfriend told her to pop the balloons. And so that's what, if they want to tell me something about their life, then I go the extra mile to make their experience very memorable. That was a family that this was their first trip. They had just finished going up and down the East Coast on a sailboat for 1 year. And this was their first experience off. So you can see that they're up in the barn loft and they're looking out. So I take a lot of pictures. In the picture to the left, there is a ledger that was an old math ledger from someone in the community. And so they can sign and they can, tell about their experience. We give them a mug. Some companies might have pens and pencils. But we've decided a long time ago to make a mug. So anyone that comes on the farm gets a free mug. So that's what we do. And of course, the flowers. The flowers are very important for the farm.
All righty. So that is our last slide for Julie. I don't know if there are any questions in the chat specifically about Julie, I do want her to tell you about this lady here. She uses the farm as her farm camp, right?
Yes, and she doesn't have a place for her 2 goats. So Anne is boarding her 2 goats with me, and she comes at least twice a month, and she calls it her goat therapy. So she sits with her goats out in the field, and she just has goat time. So that was a really good picture. I thought it was so sweet.
And this is your
And
grandson.
then, of course, yes, he was in the barn, and we have that sculpted dog, and I just thought that was perfect, and he's going to be a cowboy. Yeah.
Now, Catherine did mention Airbnb Experiences. That's where you, and again, I really do think this idea of clustering events, like say if somebody is staying at Catherine's place, but they want to go learn cheese making or fiber making, at the farm next door. That's a really good idea to cluster experiences, and Airbnb Experiences allow you to do that. Our friends at Shaka Alpaca in Murphy, unfortunately, due to some family illness, we believe they've had to close down, but they were the #1 listed tourist event in Cherokee County, even more so than the casino in Cherokee County. So, and he did say that 20% was a bargain. They stayed full all the time. They charged people $20 per trip to walk the alpaca around. And then there were things for little biddies to hang out with bunnies. And they had a farm store with alpaca products and also local honey and pickles. But unfortunately, they're not open right now. But their #1 source of income was these tours. And you can see this woman here on the right. It looks like she's like the bride to be. So this is like an activity for a bride to be. They came from Hawaii, so everybody that comes gets a lei. So it was just really fun. So that was an experience that I am aware of. I wanted to end with some resources for y'all. North Carolina State University has a fantastic Department of Tourism, and our Tourism Extension Office. We now have an agent, Ann Savage, I believe, who is directly responsible for tourism education. And our North Carolina Department of Agriculture, as Catherine mentioned, we do have the NC Farms app in North Carolina. Depending on what county you're in, they're in, I believe, 83 of 100 counties right now. And it is a really good opportunity to get your farm name out there. And the North Carolina Agritourism Network, the nc-ana.org. That's where you can get your farm signs from. I believe it's very affordable. It's like $25 membership. And unfortunately or fortunately, they're having their conference in Rocky Mount this week. So if you want to get out there, it is short notice, and they'll be out west next year in 2023. So, but it's just a fantastic network of agritourism operators that you can, share that experience. There's this great set of questions from the University of Vermont has a fantastic agritourism program. So I encourage you to go there, but they have these 10 questions and we don't really have time to go through them tonight, but if you make sure we have your email, we can send you this slide deck as well. And what they say is, if you answer yes to all of these questions, then you should start the planning process to become an agritourism operator. They're just very, very thoughtful and a lot of things that we have brought up here tonight. And I do see that there are things in the chat, but I just want to mention that Empowering Mountain Food Systems, we are a 4-year project. We are wrapping up this iteration this year. If you haven't already received funding from us or other support, we have grants, loans, business counseling. We have a fantastic farmer collaborative where farmers go to other farms to learn from each other. We have a newsletter and a listserv. So I believe by registering for this, you might already get the newsletter or listserv. But if you go to that apply now button that's on our website, you'll be, I will follow up with you. If you're in our 7-county region, Buncombe County to the southwest, you'll be eligible for this funding.